What is guys, Nexas here, and welcome back to Destiny 2. And in today's video, guys, is Tuesday reset, meaning that we have got some more, I'd say, new stuff to go over. And what we're looking at today is going to be the drop of the brand new freaking exotic catalyst for the Wicked implement. Now, the Wicked implement itself came out last week and everything. A lot of different mixed reviews. I thought it was pretty dope when it came out for PvP and everything. A lot of people thought it was ass or mid or whatever. But the weapon itself came, of course, last week. And, of course, we all knew a catalyst was coming. But this week is the first week you will be able to obtain it. Now, how you do obtain this is by, of course, doing the deep dives. Now, again, this is up to debate because, obviously, misinformation on the internet, whatever. But I got mine from a tier 7 version of the deep dive. So this is how you can do deep dives. You can matchmake it. People are saying they've got it from tier 3, tier 5s and everything. I've done every single type of tier before I did tier 7. I basically went through one by one. I didn't get anything until I did tier 7, which apparently seems to be like a guarantee, but then some people are saying it's not guaranteed tier 7. But I would recommend, if you're going to try to get this catalyst, to of course do a tier 7 version of the deep dive. Get a fire team going. Probably don't try to do it randoms like blueberries because it won't really work. But the Wicked implement catalyst itself, once you obtain it, of course, it is about like 700, 800 kills, whatever, to unlock it. But once it's unlocked, you will get this perk. Collecting stasis shards gradually overflows the magazine. I don't know what it's called. It is called... what is that word? Hadiopelagic attribute. Hadiopelagic. Why does Bungie do this to me? Why do they just make me make mess of names? Hadiopelagic freaking tribute, though. That is what the Wicked implements catalyst is going to be. Basically, stasis shards will gradually overflow the magazine. Sort of like overflow, but instead of going over, of course, special bricks, we go over some shards. So yeah, we are going to showcase what this is like, more so in PvE, because I don't even think this will make any difference PvP. But PvE, we're going to showcase what this freaking perk is like. So without further ado, let's go into some PvE with the Wicked implement catalyst. Alrighty, so we are going to be doing a salvage, of course, with our thing. And if I swear to good God, if I get shanks when I'm trying to get these things going, I'm going to cry. But here comes the crystal, and you'll see I should overflow. So when you get the attrition back, or when you get that crystal back, it will either make your magazine back to full, or of course, when it's going to overflow, it will overflow by a max of 5 for that crystal. Now, you can spam this out a little bit if you back into it in terms of these sorts of crystals. And you can see I'm at 40 now. Now, I will definitely say it's super awkward and weird with the way this thing works, because... if I go for another bunch of crystals, I'll get nothing from these. Which for me is just like super odd. Sometimes you get like to a max of 30. Sometimes you get to a max of 40. It's really strange when it actually procs. So you see I'm at 34 now. But it's really weird in how this actually procs and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just like perfectly procs for you. And then other times it just doesn't. So you'll see I'm at 30 again. Did I get the thing? I didn't get the shard. But I need to get more crystals. And then you'll see I reload whatever. I mean... it's a nice no catalyst. I'm not going to say it's absolutely terrible, but I will definitely be of the opinion that it's sort of... oh, I need the freaking HP, boys. What am I getting blasted for? But I will definitely say it's a little bit... it's a bit mid. I'm not going to lie. It's not the greatest catalyst in the world. It didn't need to be time gated for a week. Not really, but Bungie need people to log in every week. So that was the only reason I would say. But we'll see. We get another one. There's another 5. So we'll overflow by 5 for each one. The thing is, though, is that I honestly would have loved if it was sort of like the Osteo Striga, where you just be getting absolute bullet after freaking bullet spamming into it. Would have been super, super nice. But you'll see you get to 39. You can actually kind of get more if you actually hit your shots or whatever. We'll get this one going. But if I get my crystals kind of going when I'm at a high mag, you kind of can get a little bit more now. Yes, they could have given it so much better things. There's legit a brand new perk called Collective Action in the game right now. And that would have been one of the best perks for it. Extra little bit of damage, 20% extra damage when you make a crystal or whatever. It meant that you could actually kind of spec into this weapon by itself. Be a solar subclass and getting that collective action going with a stasis subclass. But yeah, Bungie decided to give it nothing. They could have given it even like, I don't know, a cascade point that increased the RPM when you get a bunch of headshot kills. That would have been really cool as well, because obviously this is built into headshots. They just could have given it so many different sort of perks, but they gave it like probably one of the worst ones. Honestly, I wouldn't hazard to say that they should have probably just given this overflow in terms of picking up special ammo. At least then I'd be getting like a max mag out of nowhere, like the double mag. But now I just kind of, I've got to spec into it super hard, because I'm going to say right now that the perk that's on the gun, the perk that's on the Wicked implement itself, it only gives you 5 when you get a proc. So first of all, you got to get a proc. It might refill your mag, but in harder end content, you're really not going to be getting much kills and everything, because you got to get a kill, of course, when you have the perk procced. And you have to freaking hit precision shots as well to get a proc. So unless you spec into it, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a struggle to kind of get the most value out of this. Like you can see, it's super easy on a Titan, because obviously I can spec into it really well, and that was a whiff. Well, obviously I can spec into it super easily, but when it comes to like other subclasses or other just freaking builds for PvE, it's going to be somewhat hard to kind of get this going consistently. I don't know. They kind of They kind of messed up with the catalyst, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, for me, like a chill clip, Triptide and everything just deals with champs a little bit better and everything like that. As I said, this isn't the worst, but it's definitely not the greatest in the world either. I just think it's just so freaking like, it's just mid. That's the best way of looking at it. Like, it's nice to get extra perks and whatever. It's nice obviously to get extra perks kind of going, but when like the perks like this and they don't really add much to your weapon, like you can get up to 38, but you gotta actually actively try to get to 38 because usually you just kind of get up to 30. But like to actually get it going, you can see it doesn't even freaking proc there. It's just kind of like, I don't know, average. There's no other way of saying it. As I said, there doesn't even be any stat bonuses, no other freaking things in terms of like extra damage or whatever. As I said, there is so many freaking things they could have given to this that would have made it like a really good exotic or a freaking catalyst. Like, as I said, collective action would have been nice if they gave it even just freaking like a desperado type of perk. So kills give you, of course, or freezing kills or whatever will give you like extra freaking RPM. Would have made it really, really nice in PvP. I just think that right now it's just like terrible. I mean, we're going away from mid to like terrible now because it's an exotic catalyst and it legit just has like nothing. I'm not using this any different other than having to spec into a shard build. I'm using this no different to what I would before because the shards would have refilled my magazine anyway. All it means that I don't have to spam out the shards as much to get it to a full freaking mag or whatever, which, as I said, it's just kind of like, they could have given it like, there's 15 just from getting the shards. So if I just made the shards anyway, I get to 15 regardless. So I'm using this kind of no differently than I would usually, which is honestly such a shame because it could have given us so much that made it like just insanely good. So yeah, for people who are going to be like, oh, should I be going in and trying to get this? I'm going to say, like, you don't have to. Like, you're going to be fine just kind of doing shards yourself or just freaking using this weapon like you used to, because there isn't much different really with this. I mean, as I said, it might deal with these sorts of bigger bars because you can kind of spam the shots out yourself. But other than that, there is no real reason I would say to use this when you got things like Age of Scepter, which is going to be great anyway as well for dealing with odds. I know it's special, but like ammo's not that hard to come by these days. Yeah, you're kind of not missing out much. We got 5, there's 23, so yeah, 5 bullets as well for each one. You got to use 4 to probably get a kill, or to get the perk procs, you got to use about 4 bullets. So in order to keep this kind of going consistently, you got to be a professional with shots if you're not in a stasis build. The only way to keep it going perfectly is if you spec into stasis, which, as I said, is just like such a bad way for the exotic to be. It should flow real smoothly, but it honestly just doesn't. It doesn't flow. It really just doesn't. Well, that's it for me and the Wicked Implement Scout Rifle with, of course, its catalyst. As I said, this freaking perk, what's it called again? The Hadiopelagic Tribute. It's kind of terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty bad. I was trying to say it was mid, but even there's even legendary perks like Overflow. Honestly, for me, it's just better because Overflow doesn't make me have to spec into a subclass to actually be useful. And of course, you can't just use the freaking Teething Harvest, of course, to get the crystals going, but it refills 5 bullets. And it takes about 4 to 5 bullets to actually get it to proc. So you're basically just like reloading the mag on a perfectionist headshot. And that's only on smaller mobs because you do have to get a final blow while you have creeping attrition going. So you can't even like just dip in and dip out like a 4 times the charm or whatever. You got to keep it going. So it's just like, it's pretty terrible. It's not even a good legendary perk. Honestly, if this was a legendary perk, I wouldn't even use it. That is how bad this freaking catalyst can be. And the worst part for me is that they could have given it anything else. They could have given a collective action, which I said is really dope. Would have been so good to tie up with the shard. Would have made this a 3-tap PvP, which would have been insane once you got a crystal going. Or even just do what the Age of Scepter does, where you can just like pop off with it. Like, I mean, you can just fire a bunch of shots that are just all freezing shots, which would have been super dope. Imagine 15 bullets in the mag that just completely freeze people. That would have been freaking nutty. But yeah, they kind of gave it the worst thing they probably couldn't give it. I honestly, it's not even a legendary perk. This is legit what you'd find on a white weapon or a freaking blue weapon, because white weapons don't have them. But this is a perk you find on a blue weapon. Honestly, this is just like, it's just not great. As I said, it's just mind-boggling for me is that the overflow part takes 5 freaking, it gives you 5 bullets back, but it takes 4 to really proc. That's the worst part for me. Obviously, it is a bit inconsistent as well. Sometimes you get into 30 or 40 bullets, depending on how many shards pick up, like, really quickly. But they should have just given it the Striga treatment, that if you got a bunch of freezing or you got a bunch of shard kills as well, that it would instantly overflow the magazine. Like, the Striga has so many bullets you can get going with it. You can legit stonk that thing. The Serum as well. You can get the Serum with the 99 with the Drang and everything. So I don't know why this one seems to, like, sort of cap and everything as well. But I definitely will say that if you need to get this catalyst, tier 7 is the best way to get it. Apparently you can get it from any deep dive. Tier 7 though for me would be the best way. But I will definitely say, if you're thinking that this is going to be anything useful, it's not. This is legit a catalyst that you just get to complete. Like, you just get it if you're a completionist, so you have all the catalysts. Maybe they'll buff it eventually. Maybe good. And as I said, against champs and against the bosses and everything, having a bunch of bullets to kind of spam to keep them frozen and everything is great, but there's so many other things you can use. As I said, Chill Clip, Riptide, freaking Age of Scepter. But I definitely do think that for people who didn't know what this catalyst was going to be, because we got leaks ages ago, for people who kind of in the dark though of this catalyst, thinking that the weapon might become from like kind of average-ish to a really good exotic with the catalyst, you're going to be disappointed because it just does not hit. This is a terrible, honestly, this is just a terrible catalyst. It's probably one of the worst catalysts I've ever used. And I've used catalysts that all they do is freaking boost stats. Honestly, boosting stats would be more helpful than this perk. But regardless, if you liked the video, choose like, and you want to see more content, subscribe, and fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next collective in the next one.